Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of our couples conversations.
Yeah.
Sipo's back again.
Yeah, it's good to be back again.
Yeah, I'm Wipilo and this is Wipilo and Sipo. If you are new here, please subscribe, like and comment. Guys, stop commit to us, okay? Stop watching and not subscribing, okay? Yeah. So it really helps us reach more people. It helps with the algorithm, so do the right thing. I'm so excited because we have our friends who we actually saw when they were doing another couples conversation. And when I saw them, I was like, they're so cool. I want to be their friend. And now they're here with us, Thuli and Joaquim. Welcome,
hello.
guys.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us, guys.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Awesome. Please introduce yourselves, say who you are, what you do, that kind of thing.
Okay, cool. So I'm Thuli. I'm 24 years of age. Career-wise, I'm in consulting, and yeah,
Nice.
that's about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm Joaquim. I'm also 24, and I'm Thuli's husband.
I love that. That is the job title.
Yeah.
That's it.
That is the job title.
Oh wow. He tries to do better than me. Now I feel bad.
Yeah.
So how did you guys meet?
Oh, okay. So, it's a bit of a long story, but first, well, not when we met, but the first time I saw her, became aware of her,
Yeah.
was like grade 9. So that's like 2013.
Sure.
Yeah, and then we officially met like face to face, grade 11, which is 2015. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in between that was just talking like over social media, internet, that type of stuff. So we knew of each other, but officially introduced face to face at that time, grade 11. Yeah.
Nice. And then how did you shella her? How did you propose to her? How did it move from, okay, grade 11, some girl I know, to, okay, now she's my girlfriend and stuff?
Okay, maybe you can...
I think it was a joint effort. So I think from what he didn't explain, like when grade 9, when he saw me, it was just like, he liked me, but he never told me. But we were in such a weird setting. We were in he was in a different boarding school. I was in a different boarding school. So everyone just kind of knew each other. So we're talking on BBM. And then, I saw at his school, they announced like the new heads of school. And he was head of...
the senior hostel.
Yeah, he was head of senior hostel. And I was like, oh, congratulations. And I was like, I actually kind of like him, And then I became head of school. And then he's like, oh, congratulations. And then it was like, oh, we should meet to like celebrate like becoming heads of school and hostel. And then from there on, I think we liked each other. But yeah, when did you ask me out?
The asking out story is like, it's sad, guys. So I asked her out actually like on Valentine's Day, but she never gave me an answer. But it wasn't like, when I asked her out on that day, it wasn't like a planned like, ooh, Valentine's Day thing. It just happened. Like, when you're in the moment, you're like, yeah, this is the time. So, but then she was like, no, I'll think about it. And turns out she thinks I was joking at that time. So I never got the answer, but then I was just there, showing up every day, showing up. And then, I had to ask her out again, like in May or something like that. And then I was like, nah, you go think about it this time. And then still the answer never came. And then, randomly when I was going on a rugby tournament, I was like, you never gave me the answer. She's like, oh, I thought I did. Like, it's a yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So like there I am now, like, off the market, midnight on the bus. And no one to she's not even there. So I was like, all right, cool.
So you guys are high school sweethearts?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I know very, very few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, people always say that.
Yeah.
Sure. That's amazing. And then how do you go from that to proposing and getting married? Because you basically grew up together, figured out varsity together, figured out all of that stuff, like the growing up vibe together. So how do you go from being in high school and then you get married?
I think I already knew, I just wanted to be intentional in the relationship.
Sure.
So it was just the natural progression of our relationship that by the time we got to university, or 2 years into university, it was like 3 years dating or so. So to propose for marriage, or it was just like the natural progression of things. It just felt right. There was no, I don't know, like difficult choices to make about it. Yeah, and it was just about being intentional from the start that I'm gonna give my all in the dating phase of the relationship, and wherever it goes, and it led to marriage. So yeah.
Okay, nice.
Sounds so sweet.
And then as you then transition to marriage, and I don't know, how long have you been married again?
It's 11
11
months.
11 months.
End of this month, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that comes with its fair share of challenges and its fair share of things that you need to learn.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to managing finances.
Yeah.
How do you guys manage your finances in your marriage?
I think, we had this thing when we started living together, and now like we're integrating into like, one household, like finances together. We would take walks and talk about finances.
Yeah, because like financial talks can be hectic by nature,
Yeah.
But like usually when we talk, we're distracted by other things and the words just flow.
Yeah.
But not to
Yeah.
say like we can't even have a conversation when sitting, but to just make the space like an open and free space. You go outside as well. So
So we would take walks and just talk about it.
Yeah.
But now obviously it's like transgressed to us now sitting down with a laptop and a spreadsheet and doing them. But in the beginning it was more of like to be comfortable with that conversation and open. But yeah, I think it's integrated quite well because we're both quite young. We're both quite like starting out in our careers. There was nobody came with like $1 million, So it was quite, I think, easy for us to engage about financial discussions.
Which is also not one of the pros of getting married young. The fact that you start building from scratch together.
Yeah,
That's the
literally,
nice thing about it as well.
But then is there someone who's more of a spender and someone who's more of a saver? And then who manages the finances? Is it like we have a joint account where we take the money there? Or is it like you have your own salary and then you'll pay for this, I'll pay for this, you'll pay for this? Like what does it look like practically?
Yeah.
So I guess practically, who's a spender actually?
Or you're both savers.
No, we're not both we're not both savers, we're not both spenders. It's like more of like
In the middle.
what do we want now? Can we afford it? And who's got more priority over the other at this moment? And then we'll just rotate over that. And then like and then it's not like a joint account thing. It's just what did we bring home? Because we said about it and then like okay, you handle this, I'll handle this, and whichever one falls on whose lap, we just roll around it like that. So yeah.
I like that. That. So now that you've been married and you've dated a long time, obviously just by being married or dating someone, there's going to be conflict, right? You are two different people coming from two different homes and you will have differing opinions on specific things. How do you guys resolve the conflict? Because Kelly, you've been doing well. I mean, you've been together since high school, right? It means the way you've been resolving conflict has been working all along. What does that look like for you guys when you just can't agree?
I think from high school, from varsity, conflict was very easy in that sense. I think it was just a matter of like discussing. There was never really like intense moments whereby we disagreed quite intensely. But it was more of like maybe there's a misunderstanding and we talk about it. One thing about us, like we're friends before anything. So it's always been very easy to talk about things. It's never been quite difficult to engage in conversation. So now stepping into marriage, I think that's when we saw a different side of handling conflict because I think we're under one roof. I think things were a bit,
You stay together now.
We stay together now. It was like hectic.
You can't disappear.
It's not like
boutique.
chatting over WhatsApp, like, I'm very sorry. It's like we have to face each other. And I will say, when we first got married, like when we would have like moments where we disagree, he would want to fix it now. Like, okay, I'm so sorry, let's discuss it now. I'm like, I'm not ready. Like, we can't discuss it now. I still have to, think about it. But then I think we found a nice groove whereby I don't want the tension to, we have this rule that even if we disagree, it can't spill over to the next day. We have to sort it now. So we can't marinate on that tension and just be weird around the house. And it's like, So a nice thing is that we have to sort it out that day. But like yeah, like even if I'm angry or feel like, okay, I need more time, I also need to recognize and take into consideration that, I can't let my anger affect how he feels or like, affect his space in the house. So I have to be open to the idea of saying, you know what, let's talk about it, let's discuss it. But sometimes I do need time. I think I'm the one who needs more time, but ultimately before the end of the day, we have to sort it out.
Yeah, but also I think sometimes, well, for me, I always say that I never really have a problem with her. Like, it's maybe the other things that are associated, like, with whatever that might be going on. So like so for me, that's how I resolve the thing. It's like, okay, she's not really the problem. Like our marriage is not the problem. It's the external factors. So I need to always remember that. And that keeps me calm because I'm like, it's fine. If we can deal with that, we good. Like,
Sure.
So that helps a lot, I guess.
That's such a mature way, like not attacking the person, but just being like, this is the problem.
Yeah, and it's just more associated to you.
I think I had to learn that a bit more. He's a bit more mature. He's like, it's not us as people, it's the external things. But in my mind, I'm like,
but you're like, no, it's you.
But I think learning from him, because he's a bit more patient, he's a bit more calmer.
Yeah.
I think he has a better way of, resolving conflict. But I was listening to something actually, and they said that how we address conflict is mostly based on how, like, from our homes, how conflict was addressed, like, in the home. So I've also had to look back and see ways that I can unlearn resolving conflict and, adapt to his ways of resolving conflict, which I think is a bit more healthier.
Sure, we come with a lot.
Yeah. Childhood traumas.
Yeah. They show up the most when you're married, even though you've been dating for so long. Like when you get married, like, it comes out.
Literally.
And then in terms of now you being married, there's conflict, there's you go to your day-to-day jobs and everything. Those kind of things can sort of take a toll on your marriage. Or let me say, that routine of going work, come back, there's conflict, there's this, you have to cook, you have to do this. How do you then keep the fire burning in terms of your intimacy? Like, those are the things, some of the things that people find hard because you're just in this routine.
Yeah, day-to-day mundane routine,
I mean, for us, it's a little bit different because, like, we're only 11 months deep. So everything is still new. Still a lot of things to learn. And, like, for us, learning new things, good or bad, it's like, hey, that's interesting. Because I remember also one time early in our relationship when we had an argument, I remember after resolving, we were like, hey, we had our first argument, like, high five. Like there's those.
How far, when did this happen?
Yo, it was long. I can't even tell you, like, the exact year or something like that, But,
oh, no, you mean when you were dating?
Yeah, before marriage. So even in marriage, like, the smallest things, like, we celebrate. But then if there's things that we do, it's like, we spend a lot of time together also. Apart from, like, the work stuff, like, we're always at home together. If we go out, we go out together. We drive to the gym together, even if we don't work out together. Like, we always more or less in the same space. And then, like, this morning we take walks. Once a month we have got, like, a really long walk we might take, get some coffee somewhere. So there's, like, small little things that make a difference, So for us right now, it's not like we are, like, dead in boredom yet. Like, it's nothing like that. So the smallest things really do get us excited. So.
But we did realize that there is a need, because I think before, when we were preparing for marriage, there was this thing that you should have date night every week and all of that. But we did realize that in our situation, it was not financially possible to consistently go out, like, every week. So we had to find little ways to make it work for ourselves. Like, it didn't have to be us going to Cape Town, every month. But, like, we'll have indoor picnics. Like, we'll have little dates that don't have to cost, like, an arm and a leg. But it's still us spending quality time together. And just, like, having that moment of, like, uninterrupted time. Like, the walks are really good. Like, maybe working out together here and there. Like, the indoor picnics. And sometimes actually going out. And all of that, I think, contribute to us talking, keeping the spark burning. So,
You can say it. I can see. But in this conversation, there was no mention of bedroom. In this entire... You can say it.
No, but I get you guys. These
Yeah, no, we
little
get you.
things.
Yeah, they build
are
up to
what-
that.
Yes,
Yeah, they
are
build
what
up to
builds
that.
up.
Yeah,
And
to
when
that,
you
to
feel
the bedroom.
and
Where the magic happens.
Really?
and when you feel that level of emotional intimacy, it's layered, right?
Yeah.
Then you feel like, oh
Yeah.
yes, this is the next natural thing to do.
Yeah.
So how do you guys, okay, let's talk about dreams, because I love dreams. I'm a big dreamer, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the times people will be like, you know, marriage is gonna kill your dreams, right? But I feel like it can actually do the opposite, right? When the
Yeah.
Bible says two people are better than one because they can help each other succeed. Like I believe in that 100%.
Yeah.
So how do you guys make sure that you came with individual dreams and maybe you have a collective dream that you guys want to reach? How do you make sure that you support one another, and how do you do it, like in general? How do you support each other in terms of reaching your dreams both individually and collectively?
Yeah, so with that one, I feel like for me the important thing is to always allow her to be an individual before like anything else.
Sure.
So whatever she comes with, say this is my dream, this is my goal, I don't have like a judgmental side to it. I won't say why is that your dream. I don't ask questions. Like let's just do it. Let's see how far we can get. And yeah, then I think when she succeeds in that, I'm also, you know, by association or, you know, whatever it may be, I'll also succeed somewhere. And it's not like because I'm helping her just for me to succeed as well. It's just because if it makes her happy and I like to see her happy, then it's, you know, it's something that I have no problem doing. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for me, it's just that simple, I guess. In you know, when it comes to supporting each other for dreams, yeah.
I think for me, because we grew up together and like growing up together, we share a lot of things. Like he's told me what he wants to accomplish. I tell him what I want to accomplish. So from a young age, we've always, I guess, rooted for each other. This is
Yeah.
something that you have to do. And like seeing him win also makes me happy in that. So I think that's the beauty of growing up together, that we know what we want to both like achieve and establish eventually, both collectively and individually. So I think it's just a matter of also reminding each other that, you know, holding each other accountable, like, dude, this is what you wanted to achieve. Like, where are you on this path? Because sometimes I will ask him, like, because he started his own business, like, what's happening? What's going on? You've been a bit distant from that and focusing on other things.
Sure.
Then that holds him accountable to do that. And sometimes I'll come with something to him and be like, I really want to do this, but I'm so anxious. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. And he's like, let's just do it. Like, what's holding you back? So I think it's that thing of like, when you love someone, you want to see them do better and you want to see them thrive and achieve in that. Like sometimes I'll tell him about my work stuff and he has no idea what's going on. But he'll be like, you know, you have to get it, dude. Like he'll be like,
I give the best advice, guys.
Yeah.
When it comes to work stuff, I do. A month later, she'll implement what I said. I'm like, I told you.
I love that.
I told you.
sometimes I'll be like, I don't know if I should take this project, dude. I feel bad. He's like, no, you do it. You go for it. And I'm just like, so I think I like that. I was scared in terms of like stepping into like a new career. I felt like, because people give it their all, like they're up like every day, like people don't sleep. And I was like, I don't think I want this. But I did recognize that there needs to be a level of sacrifice that I needed to give. And when I asked him, like, how would you feel like me staying up some nights, like doing this? And he was like, no, you do it because of, for this time being, like, you have to chase what you need to do.
Sure.
And like he'll always be there. But it's also like integrating like a level of balance, if I could say that. But ultimately, it's just like cheering each other on.
Wow.
Sure.
I love that.
That
I
is
love
so
that.
good. Yeah.
And then what's the most difficult thing that you've had to face in your marriage? Or in your marriage, and how did you guys navigate it? Or in your dating, because you've been married for 11 months, like in your relationship.
I think in marriage, we've also had hardship.
Yeah.
Like we have experienced like something, you know, that was quite intense for
Yeah.
us to go through. Like in the first, like when we got married, I had like left my previous job and I stepped into marriage without a job. Like I was just like a housewife. It was the best. It was the best time, guys. But I'd be so bored. I was just cleaning and just reading and just waiting for him. But yeah, like I had resigned and then I was just chilling there. And that was a really difficult time because I was like, geez, I don't want to just start this new chapter and just like, you know, just be here, like chilling. So that was quite like a difficult time for me individually. But I think it was seeing his support during that time. Like, it didn't frustrate him to a point whereby he was mean to me. He was quite supportive. It was just like a normal time. It was challenging for us both because we were both starting out in our career. So financially, it was a difficult time. But I think we managed to navigate it. Like, mostly I think faith was the like number one thing. Like, trusting that this is just the season and that we will pass through it and that it will be okay, and which we did. And it was unfortunate that it was like the first month of our marriage. I think we just went into like a rough start, but ultimately it was not a rough start. Like he said, we as together in the marriage, we were okay, we were good. It was just the other things that were like a problem, I guess. So, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Joaquim, do you want to add?
No, I don't know if I've got anything to add. Like, I feel like maybe that's more like okay, so what she just explained, it has happened to me reverse also. So
Sure.
like earlier this year I resigned, and then I had to find other, like I was also basically like a house husband for a month. And
We've just been
so for me, like she was also supportive, like same thing, but like then you also have your own personal battles, like now I just chill at home and I'm like, okay, what do I do? And then like you feel bad for going to the gym midday because like like you're like, damn, this is what I'm doing, wasting my time. Like you don't have a life or anything like that. But like then you just same way, like she supported me, I support her, and it was just like, it's just how it works, I guess,
Sure.
Yeah. So like again, we don't blame each other for the things.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem. Let's put out that fire and then move forward.
Sure. I love that. I love that you guys support each other, like whether you're down or like up, like when you're doing well or when you're struggling. So what does headship and submission mean to you guys? Like when they say the wife must submit to the husband.
Yeah.
And what does it look like?
For me, honestly, guys, I'm not like that. Like we sort of just find the balance. There's no, this is your role, this is my role. Whatever, where something might be lacking, I will fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Whether if she's tired or she's got a lot of things happening at work, I can cook, I'll clean, I'll do whatever that needs to be done to maintain the household, and she'll do the same if maybe I'm occupied or whatever the case may be. So it doesn't really, there's no like, this is you submitting to me type of thing. I think we submit to each other. And at times where one needs to take the lead, we lead each other as well. So it's just like a easy
I think
circle.
we decided like early on, because obviously, yes, the Bible said the wife should submit to the husband and the husband love the wife as Christ loved the church. But I think we made the decision that for us, that also means submitting to each other. That submission goes both ways, that it's not just me like looking to him for everything, but it's also understanding that we both like carry different level of wisdom and we both carry different. It's not like I'm still not the head of the house, he's still the head of the house, but it's just like practically that in our day-to-day lives that we have learned to submit both to one another.
Sure. That's really good.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
And then what do you think? Obviously, we've also just been married for just under 2 years. You've also just been married just under 1 year. So we haven't mastered
Nothing yet.
this thing, right?
We haven't.
But from what you've heard and your own experiences as well, what do you think are the 3 key things that lead to a successful marriage?
Jeez. I think as much as we submit to each other, the household, the marriage needs to submit to God.
Sure.
Needs to submit to the word of the Lord, because I think we cannot navigate and pinpoint the success of marriage without the word of God that anchors everything. So for me, I think that's the number one point. And then the second one, I think it's just have fun. Like, geez, we're so young. Like we both got married so young. So it's important to have fun. Like we look to you guys. You guys like seem like you're enjoying this marriage thing. So we're also just trying that, like, and just having fun. And sometimes I think in the world of like social media, sometimes you can confuse fun for being like extravagant things, like going to Dubai. But not everyone can afford that, especially if you got married young. So take it into context, consider the context that which you're in, and be content with where you're at and have fun with that. Otherwise, if you're constantly consumed with what's happening, what you do not have, it will take away from the fun. Like we've seen it also at some point. There has been a level of comparison whereby we felt like, maybe we don't have that. But then it's like, but we have each other, we have love. Like, how worse would it be, like, let's say if I lost my job and he was mean to me, like weird to me, then that would have just been like weird. But we had fun. Like during that time, I remember like we went through like, you know, the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
We were going through all of them because like we couldn't go out. Like you know, the finances were tricky, but we were like watching all the like Marvel movies, like Iron Man 1, 2, you know, everything. And that was fun. Like that's a core memory that we will forever hold in our lives.
Yeah.
And then the third thing that makes a successful marriage, what would I say? I don't know.
Okay, from my side, I think communication. Like I think
That's the one everyone talks about.
Everybody says communication, and I think for like even with us, from the start, like it's not like we had any secrets or hiding things. Like I remember we used to, like we sometimes joke, we'd be like, "You sure you've told me everything? Like everything? Like there's not that one thing. Like I don't know. Like you know." We make those jokes, but like because we've said so much, we've spoken so much. There's things that I've told her that I haven't been comfortable telling anyone, and things that I've told her, and then because I told her I was comfortable telling other people, then like you know, because she accepted it, then she's like, okay, then I can talk about it freely or whatever the case may be. So I think communication makes it so much easier to grow and also maintain a good, healthy marriage or relationship in general.
Sure. I'm just going to throw one in there because I'm thinking about it now. And you and I, Thuli, we've spoken about this a lot. But how can you, how do you guys support each other when you're struggling, when one is struggling with their mental health? Because it can get so tricky, right? It's like when one is super anxious or feeling like really low for long periods of time, and you're used to them being bubbly and happy and you know all energetic, but obviously when they're struggling with their mood, it then affects just the atmosphere of the home. How do you support each other when you're struggling like mentally?
I think also the beauty of marriage is that you're exposed to the person and you know them in their fullness, like you know in their natural state that this is who they are to the core. So you can identify when they're little, not shortfalls, but when they are not themselves or like acting out of character. And I think one thing that I'd say, like in terms of support in that, I think it's encouraging therapy. Like I go to therapy. I really enjoy it. Like it's really fun. You know,
not always, but
it's not fun. Okay, no, it's not fun. But like afterwards, I feel like, oh my gosh, you know. So I think it's encouraging therapy, encouraging like to speak out about whatever you may be going through, because like I say, you can tell when the person is not like operating in their fullness or at their best, and ultimately that does affect the marriage and how, you know, the atmosphere and the feel of like the marriage. So for me, I think it's encouraging therapy, but also, you know, encouraging the person to talk about whatever they may be going through, because being married, at least you have this person that you can talk to, but it's important that you do not like trauma dump. That's why you must go to therapy to work through it and then come just talk about it, where that person has no obligation to like therapize you. They're not your psychologist, but you're just talking about, this is what I'm going through, but maybe this is how you can support me during this time, and maybe these are my triggers, and this is how we can work around it, and ultimately that will help. And put like measures into place. Like if I'm always like anxious, I know that I have to maybe, you know, go to gym a bit more, because that will help me feel a bit better. That I have to do my devotions, because if I don't, then I'm like triggered and just feeling weird. So I think it's just making sure and holding the person accountable to do things that make them feel like their best self.
Sure, I love that.
I agree with everything. I think it's, you know, it's the step-by-step guide that we use. For me personally, with, I guess, helping her, for me, what I tend to do is I'll let her have her moments. You know, if she's feeling sad, feeling, I don't know, you know, anxious, I'll let her have her moments and then see where I can start talking about it. But for the most part, I think I also tend to just try keep it moving as normal. Like, not that I ignore her or anything like that. I'll acknowledge the problem, but then it's not like we're going to now sit and talk until it's out of you, like, you know. We'll just continue with our day-to-day thing. I'll maybe take on more of the responsibilities. Like, again, like if she's having a rough day, maybe I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll handle whatever that needs to be handled. I'll make sure that I'll force her to go to the gym, stick to a normal routine, like not mope around in bed, eating cookies or like, something like that. So then after that, before she knows it, she's like laughing, smiling or whatever the case may be. And then if she really wants to talk about it, she can. If she doesn't, one day we'll maybe talk about it. But I also don't hold it against her to share what's bothering her like that. Especially if she's going to therapy, it will get out somewhere else, and that's fine with me as well.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, on a lighter note, what would you say is your best memory as a couple?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this one quickly. Before you steal it. I think for me it was saying our vows at like a wedding.
Wow.
Like
wow.
that was very intimate and like it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like we both did. It was such a beautiful, intimate moment. So that is by far the most beautiful moment. It felt like no one was there. It was just like
Wow.
us. So,
Yeah, I think I'd have to second that one as well because I can't think of I can't think of anything else, guys.
No,
like there's so many, like when it's
Metric dance.
Metric dance.
High school sweethearts.
We were not dating at the
Okay, but like
I thought you dated from. Oh, you knew each other.
No,
we're not dating for her farewell. We're dating for mine.
Oh, I know.
I went there as a friend.
Were you not in the same
High school? No.
Oh,
No, we're in
okay.
different schools.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
Oh,
see.
and fun fact, for matric fun fact, I thought he would kiss me at the matric dance.
and then-
I was like, planning. I was just like, he'll kiss me,
Yeah,
like
and then-
and then he did it.
And then why didn't you?
I didn't know how to. And then that was for my farewell. And then I thought for his farewell, okay, I was like, yeah, it's gonna happen now. He's gonna kiss me, and he didn't again.
You should have.
Joaquim, what were you waiting for?
Guys, let me tell you, Thuli basically had this I don't kiss guys thing, right?
Yeah.
And to me, honestly,
And girls like.
and girls, it's just so we put it out there, but it didn't really bother me. Like I didn't need to kiss her. Like honestly, for the first, I don't know how long in our relationship, I didn't even hug her. I was just giving a fist bump.
Oh my word.
Like it was just that.
You
Like
guys didn't kiss at the marriage.
I don't understand how he's judging.
No, but we didn't fist bump.
yeah, like it was just like okay, we've upgraded from fist bump, we'll hug.
No.
So,
And then from
I
hug,
love
we
that.
graduated.
but what that highlights is like the core of our
The
friendship. It's
friendship.
just like
Yeah.
we're cool. Like,
I love
you
that.
know, so,
I love
yeah.
it when you guys call each other dude.
Yeah.
Hi, dude.
Everybody's
What's up, dude?
That's so weird for them, but
I
yeah,
love
it's just
that.
the way it is.
I love that.
Yeah, I forgot to answer the question now. Oh,
Your
the core
best
memory.
memory.
The best memory, yeah.
I mean, it's not like maybe the best memory, but it's one that I just remember a lot.
Yeah.
I think it was first year or so. We did like a cancer relay from 6 to 6, like through midnight, and we just walked the whole. So walking is our thing. Like
That is
basically.
so fun.
Were you
yeah.
in the same varsity?
No. So
Okay.
even then, like I was like in TUT, she was in UP, but like.
But you're still in Pretoria together.
Yeah. And so UP was going to that cancer relay, then I went there with her.
Nice.
Even that time I don't think I had a driver's license, so someone dropped me off, my aunt, and then my mom picked me up. It was but yeah, that whole night we just spent it walking and walking. Yeah.
No, I like the fact that you guys have your thing. And, and the thing is, you can, with this social media thing, you can get so caught up in, oh, they're doing this, and then you lose your identity as a couple. So I like the fact you guys have those things that just keep you going, and I can see that you have fun with just those things that you, because the thing is with things like lockdown, because people couldn't do all these things of going out and all these things.
Yeah.
Now you're stuck with this person, and then you realize, no, man, we actually don't like each other.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So yeah, no, I really
A lot
love
of people,
that.
I can. Like the friendship is so evident in everything that you do, not only in this video, but like because we've seen you outside of here, like just that friendship. It's so unique to who you guys are. Let's play a quick game called "Who's More Likely to." It's only a few questions, but yeah. Who's more likely to make the other person late?
Okay,
jeez.
me.
I'm always on
He's
time,
super
guys.
early. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
guys,
like
why
a
do you
15
make-
minutes early type of guy.
Really?
Yeah.
We get to church on time. We get the best parking at church. Like
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Nice. Who's more likely to resign from their job and just move abroad?
abroad. Okay, me. No.
It's probably me. It's
I think we
probably
would both do it. I think we're both
would
careful.
follow each other, but I'm the one to. I think I'd probably like, yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah, nice. And then who's more likely to blow R1 million? I blew it.
Just blow it. Okay, maybe not just blow it,
I
but
think we're both financially conscious. I don't think we would just blow it.
Yeah.
But more likely.
More likely, me. I get happy when I spend money. I'm just like,
Same.
yeah.
Same,
I get
girl.
buyer's guilt. Eh? Like I was telling her today, like we bought something and I was just like, and it's something like we're gonna use and gonna
Yes.
Yeah.
benefit from. But I was just like, yeah,
Nah.
don't know.
I'm like, dude, it'll be fun.
I like that. Who's more likely to become an influencer?
Think of
Thuli.
me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yo, my social media guys. Yo, I try, but no.
She must help you.
Ay.
Do you help Sipo become an
It's
No, I
off
don't.
Instagram.
I don't want to even be helped.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming. This was fun.
Yeah.
Getting
Yeah.
to know you guys and like us building our friendship from like just seeing you on
Yeah.
Lisankomo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lisankomo. Lisankomo's YouTube channel and being like, oh, these people are cute. Very nice.
Yeah.
To now this. This is really nice.
Yeah.
Please tell them about your business.
Okay. The name of the business is Stronger by the Day, and it's basically lifting accessories. So like gym belts, wrist wraps, and right now we just have 3 products, including a hoodie. And the name comes from, it's like a little saying that I used to say to myself when I guess I'm starting to say it again now, but when I was competing in powerlifting, where I couldn't necessarily stick to a program, like a training program. I liked lifting for fun and stuff like that. And it doesn't only apply to like the gym, but like I used to just tell myself, as long as I show up and as long as I'm better today than I was yesterday.
Sure.
So yeah, being stronger
By
by the day, basically. It doesn't matter like if I lifted 10 kilograms, 50, 300, as long as it's just better. You know?
Wow.
And if you apply it to everyday life, if you're struggling, maybe at work, you had a bad day, the next day, as long as it's 1% better, it's better than, the previous day. So yeah, something like that. So you can apply it on a daily basis. So
I
it's
love
just to
that.
empower people to keep going, I guess. Yeah.
Yo, and you guys definitely live that out. So where can they find the merch and stuff?
Strongerbytheday.co.za, and then Instagram, it's Stronger by the Day Apparel, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
All right, guys, please definitely buy the stuff, buy the hoodie. Even if you're not a gym person, you can buy the hoodie.
Yeah, for sure. For
But
sure.
purchase all the stuff that they need. And please don't forget to follow us, share this video, comment down below the part that stood out for you, and like, and just share it with a friend. Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.